What's up YouTube? For today's project, we got these Desert Moss Union Jordan 4s that I got for a great price on eBay. However, these are pretty trashed and I'm not a big fan of this colorway, so we're going to be bringing these back to life and giving them a nice custom touch. Let's get started. To get it started, we're going to put the left shoe to the side for before and after purposes. Overall, this shoe is really dirty inside and out. We want to get it as clean as possible, so we're going to be using our Rejuvenator Signature Shoe Cleaning Kit. First, we're going to take out our laces and insole. For the shoelace and the insole, we'll give those a thorough cleaning separately. The next step we gotta do before we put the shoe tree inside the sneaker to help us reshape the toe box, we gotta use the compressor to blow off any surface dust on the outside and the inside. Good to go with that step. Believe me, the air compressor makes a huge difference in the cleaning. There was a couple of black marks on the yellow suede that came off by using air alone. On the inside of the shoe, there's a lot of debris that we flushed out. You want to get rid of all that stuff before you push it deeper into the material with the brush and solution. Now let's put the shoe tree inside so we can move on to the cleaning. Next, let's squirt 2 squirts of our Rejuvenator solution into our bowl of water. The first brush we're going to be using is our soft bristle brush. We're going to use this for the uppers and the insides to clean up the sock liners. All done with the soft bristle brush. That brush did a great job cleaning off all the stains from the yellow suede. Originally, I was going to put the shoe in the washing machine. That's why we're using the Signature Shoe Cleaning Kit. However, just by using the soft bristle brush, the shoe looks a million times better. This shoe does contain a lot of suede, so if I was to put this in the washing machine, the bleeding would be a lot worse. So we're just going to stick with the 3 brushes and solution. Next, we're going to be using our medium bristle brush to take care of the midsole and the plastic hardware on the uppers. Onto the last brush, the stiff bristle. We got to take care of these soles. Soles look great thanks to our stiff bristle brush. Real quick, we're going to go back with the microfiber towel and the air compressor to get the shoe as dry as possible. Before we let the shoe air dry, I'm going to use a dry soft bristle brush and go back and hit the entire suede. That's going to help dry the suede faster and minimize the stiffness once it's all dried. We're going to let the shoe air dry for a few hours. We still got to take care of the insole. I'm not going to be cleaning the shoelace because I'm not going to be using the original lace for this project. Same thing, before we use the soft bristle brush, let's use the compressor to blow off any surface dust. All right, we're done with the cleaning. Again, we're not putting the shoe in the washing machine because it simply does not need it. Let's let the shoe air dry. We're all done with the cleaning part of this process. These are looking really good thanks to our Rejuvenator brushes and our solution. I let these dry overnight. As is, the suede is really crunchy and stiff. We got to get it back to its original soft texture. So we're going to dry brush it using our brass bristle brush to get it back to its original texture. Onto the customizing side of things, I like what Union did with this Jordan 4. It's different, they took a different approach. However, I'm a bigger fan of the OG look with the regular tongues and open wings. So we're gonna start off with the tongue. Using a seam ripper, we're gonna carefully remove this yellow stitch. Now using a steamer, we're gonna go in and remove all the creasing to get it nice and flat. While we're at it, we're gonna stuff the toe boxes with some towels. Right now there's some heavy creasing going on. We're gonna try to use a steamer to get it out. I don't think we're gonna make it look perfect, but we can make it look more presentable than this. Good to go with the steamer. Tongue looks straight. The toe boxes turned out a lot better than I expected. We got the majority of the creasing out and the toe box shape looks a lot better. Now let's keep it moving. Next step, the tongue. We're gonna place back the stitching that we removed. I got the perfect color match. I bought this from Joann's. If you guys wanna buy this, the color number is 865 and the brand is Gutterman. I have very little of it, but I should have enough for this process. We're gonna be using a needle for this part. On the back, on the very edge, I can still see the zigzag stitch. That's gonna be my guide. Union stitching is complete, looks nice and clean. It kind of blends in with the yellowish goldish tongue. I would have done a different color for it to stand out, but I wanted to keep it original like Union always does with the yellow stitch. Next step, using an X-Acto knife, we're gonna chop out the windows on the wings. For this, we're gonna be very careful and not cut the material underneath or cut too much of the wing material because there's no placing it back. All done with the X-Acto knife, we got the inside cut out. Next step, with the Dremel, we're gonna go in and get it nice and smooth. Right now it's all jagged, it's not clean at all. So with this, it's gonna get it nice and smooth and make it factory. No issues there, we got the wings perfectly cut out. The trick is to take your time with the Dremel and have it at a low setting. Next, we're gonna put this shoe inside the Vick 2000. There's some yellowing going on this off-white rubber sole. Same thing with this transparent parts. The Vick 2000 should help with that. We're gonna let these sit overnight. The UV rays should pull out all the yellowing. Got the shoes out of the Vick 2000. In person, you can definitely see a big difference. The small yellowing that was in the back area of the rubber and the transparent areas are fully gone. Our next focus is the midsole. As is, the midsole is pretty plain. We're gonna give it some pop. So first, we gotta do some prep work. The midsole's in great condition. There isn't any cracking going on, so we're not gonna be using any acetone to wipe off all the paint. We are gonna be using some 600 grit sandpaper to sand it down. That'll be good enough for the paint job. Fast and easy, we got the midsole all prepped. I left this area as is because I don't know yet if I want to paint it. We'll come back to that later. Next step is to do all the taping. We're going to tape off the upper and part of the midsole. The only area that's going to be exposed is the top portion of the midsole. So for this, we're going to be using Scotch masking tape. Tape job is complete on the top portion. Now for the bottom part, I'm going to show you guys how to get a crispy line every single time. For this midsole, we're only going to be using 2 pieces of tape. Also, you want to make sure your tape is as clean as possible on the edges. You don't want any lint or debris because that's going to mess with the sharpness of your line. And if it's not clean, just grab a piece of tape and clean it up. To start, you're going to want to grab a big piece of tape and start laying it down. The trick is, as you're laying it down flat, is to do a lot of pulling and stretching. That's the only way you're going to get it across the midsole. And for the second piece of tape, you're going to want to line it up exactly where the last one ended and do the exact same method. And to finish it off, I always grab some scissors and press down all around the tape job back and forth to make sure it's nice and sealed to ensure that no paint leaks under the tape. Before we tape off the rest of the shoe and lay down our paint, we gotta mix our color first. We're gonna be matching it to the lilac tone on the Nike Air. For this, we got our lavender purple and some white. We're gonna mix it up. Once we get the perfect match, we'll tape off the rest of the shoe so we can lay down our paint. Paint job is almost complete. Anytime I airbrush a midsole, I always go back with some 1500 grit sandpaper and sand it all down just to remove any debris, imperfections, and to get it nice and smooth. After that, we'll go back and lay down one final coat. paint job is complete. Last step we gotta do to wrap it up is to go outside and spray some matte finish. Midsole repaint is complete. I love this lilac tone. After a lot of going back and forth, I think I'm gonna leave this part as is. I like the simplicity of it. However, I don't think you can go wrong with either tone, lilac or cream. Next step, we gotta lace it up. We're gonna be using these official Union yellow laces. Alright everybody, that is going to bring us to an end on these custom Union Desert Moss Jordan 4s. These turned out great, not bad for a little restoration and custom work. They look like a completely different shoe with subtle differences. Using our Rejuvenator Essential Shoe Cleaning Kit, we gave the shoe a proper deep clean. Again, no issues with that. The suede didn't bleed. It was a straightforward cleaning. We got it back to its original state. After that, we got into the custom side of things. We opened up the wings, opened up the tongue, and after that, we repainted the midsole. When it comes to the midsole, I went with this lilac tone, but honestly, I could have gone with several different other colors. Could have used a darker purple, the blue, the yellow. There's really no right or wrong way to do it. It's all personal preference. I hope you guys learned something in this video and enjoyed it. This is Vic Almighty. I'll catch you guys next Monday. I'll see you guys. One more thing, everybody, we're getting close to the end of May, so don't forget to sign up for our huge giveaway. We're giving away $1,000 UNC Off-White Jordan 1s and Off-White Jordan 5s to celebrate hitting 1.5 million subscribers. All you gotta do to enter is hit the link in the description. Good luck, everybody, and thanks for the support.